Hi you guys, it's Stephanie. Welcome back to Coffee Paper Scissors, or welcome if you're new. Okay, I thought I would be able to get this done in one more video, but it's going to take two. I've been working all morning trying to get the last bit of it figured out, and it's just going to take more. So I'm opening up this, even though I'm going to be working on the back side, because this makes it hard for me to work flat. So I'm going to flip it over and we'll just get to work on the back side. I'm starting out, I've cut pieces to fit the two side flaps, and that's all I'm going to do on the side flaps for today, on the inside flaps. I have more to do with it, but I felt like it was too much for me to try and figure out how to do all one video of all of the remaining things that I have to do. So I decided I've got to just focus on this. I'm just stacking up some stuff kind of underneath so that I have something that I can push down on, and that I think is a little too thick. Let's see, I'm just looking for a magazine or something I can put under there. Okay, so I've cut out a piece, I've inked around it, I've sewn around it, and I'm gluing the whole thing down just to cover it, and then I will be putting something else over the top of it, just not in this video. I am sorry that this is taking me so long. And that I haven't had more videos put up lately. I don't know if I try to put too much in and then I get overwhelmed and just don't do it. I don't know what it is, but it's just, I don't know. It's becoming really hard for me. I don't know if there are just other things going on that are making it so that my brain can't focus on this. Just this last week, I didn't mention anything about it because, I don't know, it's, when it comes to like medical things, I didn't want to, I don't know. They're just personal, but once something is finished, it's kind of, to me, it's like, okay, I can talk about it now. It wasn't me, it was for my daughter. She had a deviated septum, and so for years, I mean, it wasn't like that when she was really little, but for years she was telling me about how she was having trouble breathing. And, you know, when she would get sick or something like that, it was really bad. Or just at different times, she would feel, you know, not feel good because the poor girl just wasn't getting enough air, breathing the way the rest of us do, you know. So I took her in because she was having really bad nosebleeds. I figured they wouldn't fix a deviated septum in somebody her age. She's 16, and I just figured, you know, it was something that would have to wait until she was, I don't know, 18, 20, I don't know when all of that kind of stuff quits growing and stuff. Anyway, they determined that the nosebleeds were probably partly to do with the deviated septum, because the nosebleeds were coming in the side that all of her air was going through, and he said it was most definitely drying her out, and that's causing the skin to be more susceptible for the bleeding. Her nosebleeds were lasting an hour to an hour and a half, and it was really scary for her. Not so much like fun for my peace of mind either, I guess I would say. So he said yes, that they would fix it. So she did actually have that fixed last week. And so all last week I was dealing with either surgery or a healing daughter. And she did heal up, you know, pretty quickly and stuff like that. But, you know, surgery is a big deal. And it's kind of, for me anyway, oh, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. When things like that are going on with one of my kids, I cannot focus on other things. And I think the stress, the stress from it might have given me an ulcer. You know, when you're going through things and you don't feel like you're stressed out about it or anything, but then when it's over, everything kind of crashes down in on you. I just kind of feel like that's what has happened. So I feel kind of on edge and unable to focus and stuff like that. It is hard when your babies go through things, you know? Anyway, so she was home from school all week, and I was playing the nurse, trying to make all the right decisions and make sure she wasn't taking too much pain medicine and stuff like that. Of course, I was the one giving it to her, but I wanted to make sure she got off of it very quickly because that stuff terrifies me. And so, you know, waking up during the night and checking on her, making sure she's not bleeding or feeling bad. And it was just a hard week last week for both of us. And then yesterday, she went and got the splints taken out, and she could breathe after they finally, you know, they have to clear all the stuff out of the nose from all the weeks worth of drainage and stuff like that. So that was lovely. But when she finally had it all cleared out and she took a deep breath, you should have seen the look on her face, and her eyes got so big, and it was like, I don't know, complete newness. You know, she hadn't breathed like that fully out of both nostrils in so many years, and it just felt weird and amazing. And she's like, I get so much air. So that was good. But anyway, just a really hard week for us, you know. Yeah, just think about it for weeks to come, you know, before the surgery happens, and then you are so concerned once it's done, hoping that you've done the right thing for your child, and you know, the nose is going to work properly and all of those kinds of things. And it all turned out well, but now I feel like I'm coming down from the, I don't know, trauma. I'm coming down off the trauma myself. So anyway, I feel like I've had a headache and an upset stomach based, I guess, on nerves for well over a week now. And anyway, so I'm having a little bit of a hard time. So that's why there have been very few videos. I haven't been able to focus, and it's stressed me out. All right, so now I am going to work on putting the stuff here. And I was just about to start my video and realized that I still needed to sew around everything so that there's continuity between what's going on. And I know I sewed on the other side, and so I need to sew on this side too, otherwise it's going to look weird. So, okay. I want this to be sort of the background of the pocket with this on the top. Let's see here, hold on. Yes. And I want a tie to go underneath. So I am going to be using, it's just a very thin lace so that I'm not adding too much more bulk. And I'm just going to glue that down, and I'm going to use, excuse me, hot glue just to get it down pretty quickly, but I'm not going to use a ton. I'm just going to kind of get it to where it's sticking. And because hot glue adds a lot of bulk. So it'll at least be there, and then the rest of the glue I think will hold it on just fine. Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and glue this down. I think I'll use the art glitter glue on this just to really hold this stuff in. I know the other glue works too that I use, the Aleene's Quick Dry Tacky Glue, but this dries faster, so that's what I'm going for here. Lots of glue, probably more than I needed to use, but that's okay. I did end up cutting this particular flap, a little shorter, maybe by about a 1/4 of an inch. It just felt like it was too far up to the edge, and I don't know. I just thought this would be better this way. Okay, and then here we have a pocket. So I'm going to glue on these sides here. So So yeah, my daughter went back to school and everything's good. Hopefully things can settle down. As soon as something settles down though, something else pops up, I think. And I'm sure on like all of this stuff, I'm going to be adding more laces and things like that. This is my base. I want to get the base finished in case somebody else is building it and they're like, okay, Stephanie, move on. I'm with you. This way the base can at least be done, and all of the decorations and things like that, you know, are more individual depending on the papers and that sort of thing that you're using. So I think I'm going to have this maybe hang off just a little bit. I might end up putting something underneath it as well. I have no idea, but I think that's what I'm going to do. Put quite a bit of glue there since there's fabric. And again, the papers that I'm using, the digitals, are Poppies For You. It's 2 different kits. I'll have them linked below if you guys are interested. Every time I print a page out, you guys, I think, wow, that's pretty. So, you know, I'm very, very pleased, you know, with the kit. And I'm taking it and taking like the full pages, and I'm taking it and like shrinking it and cropping it to get the different little things that I want. So, you know, this doesn't come in the kit like this. I take and make it, you know, shrink it down. Okay, so there's one. And then this side will be basically the same idea. This will be glued all the way down. It's so funny, like, I spend so long preparing for, you know, something like this. I've been for hours this morning working on getting all of these pages done to make the video, and then to have them all glued down and stuff like that in just a matter of half an hour is just like, it's kind of crazy. All right, and then now on this, I'm going to be putting the other piece of lace under this pocket, which, you know, it might cause a little bit of something. You know, when you're trying to slide something in this pocket, it might hit on that lace. So I'm thinking maybe I should glue it down, but then I want to make sure it's kind of lined up. Glue it down, but then cover it with maybe a really thin piece of paper that you're not going to see, so that whatever goes into that pocket kind of slides over it easily. Let's see here, pencil. Just giving myself some lines to put my glue in between. And again, I'm just wanting it to stick, and then I'll worry about more glue. Make sure it's lined up pretty well. I think that's fine. And I put way too much on there, but I can cut it down. That's fine. Let's see. Let me grab a piece of something. See if I have some scrap paper in here. I do. I have no idea what it's from, but I think it'll work just fine. And it's thin paper, so it really shouldn't cause a problem with something hitting as it's going down in the pocket. Just make sure you get the glue all the way to the edge. Okay, and where did it go? And then that'll cover that up just fine. All right, we'll get that glued down. I'm gonna make sure I have those words going the way I want them to. Yeah. I went, so yesterday after we went and had the splints taken out, my daughter wanted to go to the bookstore, so we did that, and very near the bookstore was, or is, a Tuesday morning, and I haven't been in Tuesday morning for, I would say, a couple of months now, because each time I've gone in there recently, the craft aisle was really empty. And I thought, my goodness, at what point are they going to start filling this thing up again? And so yesterday I went in thinking, well, it's either going to be better or worse, right? You know, one of the two. It was definitely worse. You guys, the craft aisle is nearly gone. Instead of crafting supplies, they had like gift wrap and stuff filling up the aisle. So I'm thinking that my particular Tuesday morning is just not going to have the craft items anymore. Or if they do, it is going to be very little. So that was kind of a bummer. When I first started doing this kind of stuff, and my friend Donna would take me shopping and say, hey, you know, you need this, you need this, you need this. One of the places we would go was Tuesday morning. And the aisle that the craft supplies was on, it was two-sided and packed. Like you could spend hours going through all of the stuff in the aisles and never see it all. And now they've gotten it down to, there was, I mean, just like nothing. I was able to walk through the aisle in 2 minutes and go, nope, don't need any of that. So that was disappointing, actually. I guess I'm gonna just have to start shopping online. So I want this to kind of, you know, line up a little bit. So I think that's pretty good. And I can mess with it after I get it laid down. Let's see, there's a word here, pour. I'm gonna try and kind of line it up with that. I got a little glue on the paper. So yeah, the Tuesday morning, I mean, it was sad enough when they moved from North Spokane out to the Spokane Valley, because to get out to the store now, I have to be making a special trip. I'm not going to drive all the way over there. It's like 40 minutes or more from my house. So I just have to be in the area to go there. I used to, you know, it was like 25 minutes away, which was fine because I'm in that area of town all the time anyway. But now I am not going to make a special trip for that. It was very disappointing. So I don't know if you guys are having the same thing at your Tuesday morning stores. I know a lot of them have closed. And as far as I'm concerned, the one that's here can close. I'm like, well, if that's all you're going to have, you might as well close. Okay. I think that's everything. So then this, we'll just tie it. And I used a really thin lace just so that there wouldn't be a ton of bulk, like when it's laid flat. I didn't want a really huge, you know, knot right there. And that's a big bow, but that's okay. Let's see, I think I'll do this way. And then it can be shortened also. Okay. So there is that. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I might decide to do something else on there. I have no idea at this point. But there's that. That's not, I'm not going to have it closed right now, but it kind of looks like that. And kind of looks like that. And it opens up. And you have this. So we'll put something here hopefully tomorrow. And we'll put something here, hopefully tomorrow. And we have the pockets here, and there's a little pocket in here. So anyway, there we go. There's the next step. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.